Hi friends, happy Thursday. Welcome back to Math Today. Today for math, you will need from your Envisions workbook, page 329 and 330, and then also page 331 and 332. You will also need a pencil. So go ahead and pause the video and grab the materials that you need. All right, friends, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get started with our number practice. So I'm going to show you our numbers out of order, and I just want you to tell me what the number is. Ready? Here we go. 4, 11, 12, 14, 10, 1, 3, 16, 20, 19, 13, 9, 8, 17, 18, 7, 6, 5, 15, 2. Very good job. Now let's take a look at our number line. We're just going to look at our number line, but today when we count, I'm not going to point to the numbers because we're going to do some exercising while we count. So we use our number line as a resource to help us know our numbers in order, right? Or in sequence is another way to say that. And in kindergarten, we learn that our number line starts at 0, the number that comes before 1. When we have 0 of something, that means that we have nothing, right? So we're going to count today from 1 all the way to 30. And then like we've been practicing, we're also going to count backwards from 30 all the way to 0, okay? So we're going to start at 1 counting forward, and then we'll count backwards from 30 when we get there. So every group of 10, we're going to change exercises. The first group of 10 that we're going to do is reach for the stars. So we're going to pretend we're astronauts. We're going up to the outer space, and we're going to start pulling stars down. But here's the thing. The stars will not come off for you to grab unless you reach across your body. You can't reach straight up. I want you to reach across your body when you grab those stars. So are you ready to count with me? Let's get started. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to squish the bugs with our tushies. Ready? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now let's do some jumping jacks to 30. Here we go. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Very good. Now, we're going to count backwards from 30 all the way to 0. So let's start with our jumping jacks again. Ready? We had 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Now let's squish the bug. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Now we're going to reach for the stars. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's give ourselves a roller coaster cheer. Ready? Click, click, click. Woo! Excellent job, friends. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath out through your mouth. And give yourself a big old kiss on the brain. Nice job counting. All right. So let's take a look at our learning target for today. Our learning target says, I can use an equation to represent and explain addition. So remember, we talked about how an equation is a math sentence, right? An addition sentence. Can you guys say the word equation with me? Equation. So far, we've learned only addition sentences, but we will start something after addition called subtraction, which will also be an equation. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. So let's talk about what these two symbols are. This is our addition symbol, or what's another word we learned for addition symbol? Plus sign. What is this sign? Equal sign, right? So when we see this symbol right here, we know that we're putting groups together. So let's sing our addition song to help us remember what it means when we add. Ready? Let's wake up our singing voices. La 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 la. And let's get our hands ready to sing. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Adding means putting groups together. Adding means putting groups together. Adding means putting groups together to make them bigger than before. When we add, our number gets bigger, except when we add with 0, then our number stays the same. Okay? So we're going to practice doing some more adding today and showing how we know what groups are put together and how many there are all together. So let's start with our solve and share on page 329. Our directions say, Daniel's teacher is making name tags for her students. She makes 3 name tags for the boys, and she makes 2 more name tags for the girls. Now she has 5 name tags altogether. How does Daniel's teacher know that she's made 5 name tags altogether? So what we're going to do is illustrate that sentence inside the square right here, rectangle, I should say. So we're going to show how Daniel's teacher knew how many name tags she made in all. We're going to start by illustrating our rectangles in our first group. So we had 3 name tags that she made for the boys. So make sure when you draw your 3 rectangles, 1, 2, 3, you draw them small enough where you can fit another group up top, but also write your number below. So let's count and mark out 3 rectangle name tags. 1, 2, 3, and let's write a 3 below. Okay, now it says she made 2 more. That word more tells us that we're adding. So let's draw 2 more rectangles in a different group and count and mark those out. 1, 2. And now that we know we're adding, we can put our addition symbol and then write a 2 on the other side of it to show we have a group of 3 and a group of 2. Now let's circle both groups to show that we're going to add them together. So now my sentence is set up. 3 add 2 equals, this equal sign tells me I'm about to give the answer. Let's go back and count and mark out how many they have all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 add 2 equals 5. So this is how we can show in 2 different ways that we know how many name tags the teacher has. Okay, we're going to do that for all of our activity sheet today. So let's look to the back to our guided practice. It says that we're going to draw a picture to show what is happening with the story. So in this guided practice problem, it says Daniel puts 2 red crayons and 4 blue crayons on the table. Now there are 6 crayons in all. How can Daniel tell there are 6 crayons? Okay, well, let's start. They already give us our dotted pictures and numbers to trace. So let's just start by tracing the crayons here. So they actually drew the shape of crayon, and it looks like a rectangle and a triangle put together. So there's 1, 2. We'll trace our 2. To show in the first group, there are 2 crayons. Now let's trace our second group. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're showing 4 crayons on paper. We don't have to have the crayons to be able to add these groups together. We can draw it to help us know. So let's count really small and mark out how many there are in the second group. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the signal word in all tells us that there's a total of 2 groups that are put together. But it doesn't tell us more. It doesn't tell us join. The signal word in our story to tell us we're adding is and. Daniel puts 2 red crayons and 4 blue crayons on the table. So our word and tells us that we're adding. So trace your addition symbol. And then we're going to circle both groups. And let's count and mark out how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, we forgot to trace our 4 in the other group. Make sure to do that. So now we're going to show that we just counted 6 crayons all together in both groups. 2 add 4 equals 6. Can you read that with me? 2 add 4 equals 6. Another way to say that is 2 plus 4 equals 6. Or 2 and 4 is 6 in all. There's different ways to show that you know you're adding. All right. So we're going to skip past page 331. I'll explain to you your stories for each of your problems for your activity sheet that you'll post to your teacher's Google Classroom. So let's skip to the back, page 332. We're going to start at number 6, where it tells us Benny puts 5 bananas in a bowl and 4 bananas on a plate. How many bananas does he have in all? So first, how many are we going to draw in our first group? 5. So up top above the first line in your first group, your bananas are kind of like half circles. So we're going to draw 5 bananas the best you can. Try and draw them nice and small because we have another group to show. Okay? Now I'm going to count and mark out 5 bananas to make sure I got all 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I did. So I'm going to write 5 on the first line. Straight line down, halfway around, hat on top, 5 is found. Now I know I'm putting the 2 groups together because it says there are 5 bananas in a bowl and 4 bananas on a plate. So it wants to know how many there are in all. Okay, so I'm going to put my addition symbol here. Now how many bananas were on the plate in the other group? 4. So we want to leave some space between the first group and the next group to show there are 2 groups. So I'm going to draw 4 bananas. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to mark them out to make sure I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to write a 4 on the line. And then I'm going to put my equal sign to show, okay, now I've set up my equation or my addition sentence. Now I want to know how many he has in all. So before I do that, I'm going to circle both groups to show, okay, now I'm putting the bananas together. Now let's go back and count how many 5 add 4 is. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 add 4 equals 9 in all. Okay? Make sense? Let's keep moving on. If at all we're going too fast, remember you can always pause, rewind, and catch up to where you need to get to be. All right, let's look at number 7. It says, Chris eats 2 grapes at lunch and 6 grapes for her snack. How many grapes does she have in all? So it says she eats 2 grapes at lunch and 6 grapes for her snack. So what do we need to put in our first group? 2 grapes. Let's draw 2 grapes. They're the shape of a circle, so that's easy peasy. And then I'm going to count and mark them out. 1, 2, and draw a 2 on the first line. And it asks how many there are in all. So that tells me, oh, I'm adding. So I'm going to put my addition symbol. Now, how many does it say she ate for snack? 6. So we're going to leave a little space and we're going to draw 6 grapes in our next group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to count and mark those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And write the 6 on the line. So now my equation is set up. I have 2 add 6. I'm going to put my equal sign. And then I'm going to circle both groups to show I want to know how many there are all together. So let's count how many there are in both groups together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 add 6 equals 8. Or 2 and 6 is 8 in all. Or 2 plus 6 equals 8. Great job, guys. Let's hop down to number 8. Number 8 says there are 4 girls and 2 boys on a train ride. How many children ride the train in all? So 4 girls and 2 boys. Let's draw our 4 girls with some hair, some longer hair. I'm just going to put a piece of a straight line on each side to show it's the girls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to count and mark them out to make sure I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And write a 4 in my first group. Okay, now my signal words in all tell me, oh, I'm putting these groups together. So I'm adding. Okay, now let's draw the boys. There are 2 boys in our other group. 1, I'll give them some squiggly here. 2, that's fun. All right, let's count and mark out the boys. 1, 2, and write a 2 on the line. Now, what's my next step? We're going to put our equal sign to show that we're making an equation. And then I'm going to circle both groups to show I'm putting them together. So all together now, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4 add 2 equals 6. Or what's another way to say that? 4 plus 2 equals 6, or 4 and 2 is 6 in all. Okay? So all together, there were 6 children on the train. All right, let's look at number 9, our challenger. It says that we're going to listen to the story, and then we're going to circle the connecting cubes that show the story, and then tell why the other cubes do not show the story. So we see we have a red and purple cubes, and there's a cube train on the top and on the bottom. So these are 2 separate groups that, when they're put together, all together equal a certain number. Same at the bottom. So we need to figure out, okay, I'm going to listen to the story. Which group of cubes matches the story? Okay? So let's get ourselves set up for the story. Looking at our first set, we're going to look from side to side. Let's count and mark out how many red cubes there are. Okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red cubes across the top. Let's see how many purple. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now let's look at the bottom. Let's count the red. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the purple. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we know we have 5 red across the top and 4 red across the bottom. That's the difference. Okay. Let's listen to the story. Jimmy picks 5 raspberries. Then he picks 3 more. How many raspberries does he have in all? Okay, so it says he picks 5 raspberries and 3 more. So that word more tells me that he's adding together. He's putting these 2 groups of raspberries together. So now we want to know how many he has in all. Well, we already counted across each row. Which cubes show the story or match the story? The top one, right? Because there are 5 red. If it were 4, then in the story it would say he picked 4 raspberries and 3 more. So let's circle the top 2. Now let's count how many there are all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5 add 3 equals 8. So how many raspberries did he have in all? 8. Very good. All right, I know these videos keep getting a little bit longer and longer. That's because you guys are learning more and more, and your brain is thinking at a higher level. So I am going to finish with reading you your stories for each math problem on page 331. So I'm going to go across each problem, read the story that goes with it, okay? As I'm reading, you can either pause the video for each problem and complete it then, or you can listen all the way through to all 4 stories and then go back and rewind the video. I would suggest listening to the story, pausing, and doing your work, then listen to the next story, pause, and do your work, okay? Either way, but make sure to hit that pause button and press play in order to follow along. All right, so let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says, George put 4 blue paint jars and 3 red paint jars in the art room. How many paint jars are there in all? So he puts 4 blue paint jars and 3 red paint jars. It's for this problem right here, okay? Make sure to set up your problem with your pictures and your addition sentence to match, okay? Let's go over to the next one. The next one says, Maya has 3 green pencils and 2 orange pencils. How many pencils are there in all? So she has 5 green, 2 orange. How many in all? All right, make sure to draw your picture with your pencil and then write your addition sentence. Okay, Come down to number 4. The next one says, Rex has 1 sheet of blue paper and 8 sheets of yellow paper. How many sheets of paper does he have in all? So he has 1 sheet of blue and 8 sheets of yellow. Okay. Make sure to draw your picture and write your sentence to match. And last one, number 5. Regan has 4 green blocks and 4 yellow blocks. How many blocks does she have in all? So again, draw your 2 pictures and write your addition sentence to match. Great job adding today, friends. I will see you tomorrow for your last addition lesson this week. Keep up the great work.